this link. So if you click invite right here.
Next Thursday and the following Monday. A lot of people are getting their homes ready for season over here.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Yeah.
We got some fun news. We're going to obviously talk about Homebot like we talked about today, or I said in the mastermind, but I also have a fun hack that I just learned. And we just made it available so you don't actually have to put in anything on the description in the ad now, because you remember that 15-mile radius drop kind of messed things up for us with, having to say county verbiage or, expand for that 15-mile radius. Now we can actually just leave it blank and just adjust the image to make it look that way, and even pull in an emoji. So I'm excited to show you guys that new hack that we learned. All right, should we begin? Steve, are you there?
I am here, yeah. If
Okay.
you need.
Well, no, just want to know you're there. Okay, I'm going to get into just showing you this new update because I think it's pretty cool. And, at the end of the day, we're always looking for low-cost leads. So let's test this out and see if we can actually get a bunch of tests going this way. I'm actually pretty excited for what you guys are going to see. Michaela is actually testing this out as well right now. And I'm going to show you guys what I mean here. Let me share my screen. And then I'm going to get into a dashboard, or this is Michelle's actually that I'm showing. Okay, so if you look now at the way you can build out through the seller property valuation conversion template, which of course, even if you guys are current members here, you're still using this one because this is the best one that we have at this point. And so if you click select, back in the day, we'd had to put something in here, right? Now you can actually just bypass it altogether. You're gonna want to still find an address. And I know you guys in the past have put in towns and cities and stuff here. I think it's so more important at this moment to kind of start thinking about the central location where you want to be, farming from, because naturally, if we know Facebook's going to hit up 15 miles north, south, east, and west as a radius, then why not figure out what that centralized location is? Okay, so let me give you an example here. I always go back to my childhood home. So if you go and click on map or satellite or terrain, we all know there's 3 different options at this point, hopefully. Well, I like to do, I'm gonna take a copy C or command C or, copy type of feature, take that address because we're gonna use it again. And what you're gonna wanna do is do a double click on the zoom out, okay? I'll say that again, a double click on the zoom out, because that's gonna be the same radius view by doing the 15-mile radius. Now, when you click next here and drop, you're not gonna target locations anymore. You're gonna use the drop the pin. You're gonna go copy paste, right? And when I know that's the 15-mile radius, so if I go down, that's the same exact view because I did the double click before. So when I click done here, there you go. So when I go back, it's exactly the same view. And look, I didn't have to put anything up here, right? So now it's just gonna stay blank. If someone were to buy your home, would you sell it, find its value in the current market? Now, here's what I would like to see some people do, because why not experiment a little bit with this Emojipedia, which is so nice, and we can put a little home emoji in here. So if we take this little home emoji, pull it back into here, now we got this cool little, if someone were to buy your home, would you sell it, find its value in the current market with a little home emoji? Right? I mean, you could drop in multiple. Why not little 3 home emojis? Why not 10 emojis? No, I'm just joking. You can do whatever emoji you want at that area up there, and you can launch it. So that's the thing. Use this emojipedia.org, and I think the home one is probably a good one to test off initially. But yeah, you guys have any questions on that? That's pretty straightforward, right? I mean, I think that'll be a game changer now, is you don't have to use county verbiage or King County or you name it. You kind of just choose that centralized locations, understanding that it's going to go 15 miles north, south, east, and west. And just like I showed you, find that address, throw it in, do a double click to zoom out, take that same address, put it in the drop the pin, click done, and then you're Bob's your uncle, you're ready to go. And so I think the Emojipedia aspect of this is huge too. And you're just going to want to test, right? Like we talk about every single day, go out there with that chase the ace mindset, let 3 ads run overnight with that test in mind, and let the best ad win. Any questions?
Marcus, I have a question for you.
Sure, shoot out.
Hey there. So you guys all look nice today. Sorry, I'm in a hat. I've been having meetings since 5 a.m. my time. I'm out in the Seattle area. So my territory where I work, we're surrounded by lots of large bodies of water. Can we utilize that body of water for part of a 15-mile radius if we're only concerned with a 4-mile portion of a community?
Yeah, I mean, you just got to figure out where you're going to drop the pin, and you can drop the pin anywhere you want, because it's not gonna say, oh, that's a body of water. I'm not going to hit that. It's going to be part of the radius no matter what. So wherever you drop the pin, and you can move that pin around, right? So because when you're in the actual area of this funnel, I'll show you what I mean here, and you go to drop the pin, like give me an address for yourself.
Well, if you can use the city of Tacoma.
Tacoma, Washington?
Yeah.
Leon would resonate with this. Hey, Leon? So when you open this map up, you can see you can move this pin wherever you want. You could probably even drop it in water if you wanted to. It doesn't matter. It's gonna allow you to drop the pin wherever you want, and then ultimately it's gonna draw 15 miles around it. Right? So you can move this pin anywhere you want to go with it. You just got to move it.
So if I wanted to, if we look at Tacoma, there's areas in Tacoma that do very, very well. And there's areas outside of Tacoma that, let's just say, aren't as great or desirable. So I could utilize portions of the water north of Tacoma to shrink up my area of Tacoma.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's something that actually I've been toying a lot with in coastal communities is dropping a portion of your 15-mile radius over water, because, I mean, the fish aren't clicking. Yeah. Right. So that's the way I look at it. Absolutely. I think that's genius. If you are in a coastal community and you're really only focused on the coastline, so to speak, drop the pin so that you just see the edge of your targeting in the area that you want. I think it's a neat little hack for sure.
That's actually smart. Fish aren't clicking. Run with that one. There you go. For you guys on the ocean or in bodies of water, you can use that body of water in your favor.
Hey, Logan, it's Patrick. Hey, question for you guys. I know, like, with the new regulations that we've got for not excluding people, like as far as like realtors and things like that, is there a way in the algorithm to not so much necessarily exclude realtors, but maybe exclude certain groups that they belong to, like maybe like our local realty organization? Like for us, it would be like the Southern Gateway Association. I mean, could we like eliminate that from the algorithm?
There are different ways of doing it, but ultimately I think that it's less necessary than ever before. When you look at things through a different lens, think of it less as yourself and your audience, and look at things through Facebook's eyes. Facebook is there to make money. I mean, let's face it, they make a ton of money for themselves. They know how to make money for themselves. It's of no benefit to put an ad in front of somebody who has a low likelihood of clicking on it. And Facebook knows who the realtors are already, right? So if you think of it that way, how does it benefit Facebook putting a realtor's ad in front of another realtor, right?
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, I've gotten like 5 though. I've gotten like 5 realtors here like this past week, which, okay, it's probably an oddity, but it's the fact that I know that we're starting to see more and more realtors getting our ads and then clicking on it, commenting on it, you know, making a waste of time and kind of blowing our feeds up. So
100%. And I've also found that audience selection is incredibly important. And once again, we always talk about the first 500, right? As soon as you start noticing a trend in any way, shape, or form, Facebook starts seeing that as positive. So they're starting to get a lot of clicks from a certain interest group, right? They're going to say that's, once again, okay, people are clicking. I'm going to continue finding people like this, similar profile types on that particular ad. So if you're finding on one particular ad, finding a particular interest group, whether they be realtors or people of a certain age group or whatever it is that you're not interested in, I would suggest pausing that ad and launching another one, unless the ad metrics on it are phenomenal, in which case you could consider, you can get into your ads manager and actually go in and exclude groups. If you've already kind of put together a list of those individuals, you can go through and exclude them manually, but that's That's another level that I wouldn't typically recommend. I think that once again, just knowing that Facebook is there to make everybody money, but most importantly themselves. And it typically of no benefit to show, let's say, a home seller ad to an 18-year-old, right? Knowing that 18-year-old likely doesn't have a home to sell. And same thing, a realtor will only click on another realtor's ad if they're trying to get perspective as to what they're doing. So I think that it's pause that ad, start another one if that's the case, and you probably will notice that trend will end.
Exactly. Remember, Facebook has an algorithm. So if there's a lot of people of the same in terms of realtors clicking on that, it's going to continue to show it to those people. So I would just turn that ad off, especially now we just showed you, like, test this new feature out, because you don't have to do this any longer with the county verbiage or, you know, adjusting for that 15-mile radius. Take that out and start testing it, right? You don't need to say Ada County or Almaden County, or most people don't resonate like I live in the county, right? People don't say that anyways. They don't say I live in a county, unless you actually ask them which county do you live in, and sometimes they don't even know what that. So I would say the best thing you can do now with this new feature is remove that description altogether. And for those of you that have full accounts, you probably want to use you probably want to start using some of the other funnels on the seller side, especially the "What's Your Home Really Worth" one. We've seen some good results with that. So I would, because that you don't have to actually even say anything on there in terms of the area you're in. I just would say, if you're going to use "What's Your Home Really Worth," make sure you pick an image and house that's architecturally in style for that area that you're in. Don't use some like image that is like, this is Victorian home, and you're actually in, Florida, which you're never going to see one. So make sure the image looks, and you can always pull in your own image. I know Douglas Klein, you've been using Canva a bunch, right? To build your own campaigns, especially on the custom side.
Yeah, I have. Can you guys hear me all right?
We sure can, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I use Canva to put together, a couple of images. The last custom ad I ran for townhomes in my area was doing phenomenal. I just basically pulled 3 photos right out of the MLS of 3 different style townhomes. A couple are very noticeable in the area that I'm in that people would recognize right away. Built that ad, followed, what Stephen has suggested. I put together, built it, and we got unbelievable results. I had probably over 20 leads within 3 days. We've got 2 potential clients that are going to be buying and selling, and that's the ad right there, and it's doing really well. So we've got an appointment tonight and an appointment tomorrow for a possible listing and a buyer.
See all available townhomes in Hillsborough. Get a list of townhomes in Hillsborough sent directly to you. So you would have ran that out of the custom template that we have?
Yeah, I ran a custom template. I chose Hillsborough. We ran the ad, and it's about $3 a lead. $3 and change is what we're spending. And I connected it to. I created the automation so they get a text message immediately saying, "Hey, thanks for your request. Please be sure to check your email in a few minutes, where you'll get a link to the list of homes you requested." Then about 2 minutes later, I have an email going out with the link directly from the IDX page from my website that we've already created the search for all townhomes and condos in Hillsborough. So they get that in an email following that, and then someone on our team will follow up with the lead with a phone call within 5 to 7 minutes. So it all looks natural, like, okay, we got your request. Okay, now we sent you an email, and then we call them right away saying, "Hey, did you get the email?" And then hopefully they got it. They're looking at it and talking with one of my agents right on the phone, right when they have it.
Love it. And Steve just mentioned that he actually shared a video in the insider group of how to create this. So if you guys are looking to see what Douglas is doing, check out that video. It's in the announcement section where everybody knows that I pin everything that's relevant for you guys in there. Yeah?
Hey, Marcus.
What's up, Chris?
Hey, man. So I'm also using the custom templates as well, very similar to Doug, and I'm having unbelievable success with it, utilizing Canva and just the regular template that's there. If you want to take a look at mine too, it's unbelievable.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think we need to do a good class on Canva for everybody, because
Yeah.
I think that's going to be a massive opportunity for you guys. Steve, take care of that, bud. Just joking.
Well, and one other thing I just wanted to quickly, mention is that one of the things that I think that we as a community that helps everybody get ahead is the sharing, right? And you guys are all such incredibly creative people that I think it's beneficial for every time you come up with something custom, especially if you notice it working right away, post it in the insider group so everybody else can have a look at it. And the beauty of that is, once again, you're going to find somebody who's going to, suggest something to make that even better for you. But also you're going to start finding other people with different ideas, different angles, different things that are working in different areas. And the more ideas we all collaborate and share with one another, the better we're all going to do. Right? So as soon as you guys come up with something cool and custom, especially once it's proven to work, put it in the insider group with a quick little, here's what I've done. And the more, once again, you start putting that and everybody else will start sharing. And that's really what we're trying to accomplish here. And that's how we all get ahead.
Hey, Chris, which one should I share? Which one do you want me to share?
So if you look at the custom one I did with Canva, that 3% buyer rebate is huge too. But the one above it, the way that I have that set up is when somebody clicks on that, they will immediately get a text message, and there will also be basically it's a gift certificate that immediately pops up that I designed for them. And they can take that, and there's actually instructions to print it out and take it with them to the community. So I picked a builder in our community out here in Dallas that's offering double commissions from now until the end of the year.
Wow.
So I'm perfectly happy giving up 3 if I'm going to get my normal 3% on it anyways. And I mean, it's unbelievable. I've already sent 3 off this week for financing approval.
Oh my gosh.
So
And I mean, this is great what you did here. I think you can even do a little bit better on the text description, perhaps pull in some emojis, point down to it.
That was my first one ever putting together. So with Canva, so that's the first time I'd really ever used it. But the certificate I put together for it is awesome too. So
if you click through it,
you get it
just like that. That's the great thing about the Facebook lead capture. It goes straight in there. It's putting in my name, my email, and my phone number right there.
Right, and then you'll get a gift certificate that'll automatically populate and send to your email.
That's massive. I'm seeing the chat feature blow up right now. I'm sure people have some questions.
Yeah.
Hey, unmute yourself, guys, if you have any questions around what Chris is doing there.
Hey, Chris.
Well,
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Jeff. We'll let the early birds in the Pacific Northwest go first. Go ahead, Jeff.
Yeah.
One word of caution for those up in the Pacific Northwest: our MLS and the governing boards, they're looking at copyright infringement on photographs. They started really looking at that last year. People are getting fined to the tune of $5,000 and more. They're really going to focus on that this year. So just to let you know, I got a tip from somebody else that's involved in that. So if you're taking pictures from from your feed or from the, whatever's put out there on the MLS without the proper documentation to make sure that you can use those, you can really get a hefty fine. So I just want to throw that out there. It is something real that's happening now.
Well, and kind of doubling down on that also, kind of in regards to what we were talking about, everybody sharing different ideas, different angles, different offers. If it's something that's new to you in your area, be sure to check with your broker to make sure that it is, you're within compliance, because last thing we want is you to start running things that are working for somebody in a different, country, province, state, whatever it may be, that is perfectly, allowable where they are, and then have you get into hot water. So if it's something that is a unique offer to your area, don't just blindly run it. Check with your broker, make sure that what you're doing is within compliance to make sure you're not getting yourself into any hot water. But, thanks for that information, Jeff, because obviously when it comes to things like that, we're here to share ideas and everybody get better at what we're doing, but there are different regulations, and we're widespread. Obviously this group of individuals is across the globe in a sense, right? So once again, do make sure you check with your broker if you're not sure.
Yeah, and I'm not sure how all states work or even Canada works, but Texas is one of the ones that I know that actually allows us to rebate buyers. So that works. This is a perfect scenario for us, but Yeah.
Yeah, Texas is the Wild West for sure.
The one state I would move to for sure. So Tracy says, how does the certificate that they print out take the builder back to connect with you?
So what it is, and if you want to put your information in, Marcus, it'll populate, it'll send your email. So then you can show it to everybody if you want.
Okay, I will do.
Yeah. But what it is, so it's a 3% buyer rebate, and it just says that they have to close on an inventory home by December 31st. So it actually has a sense of urgency in it, because those are the incentives right now that the local builders we have up in DFW are running. So they're running 6% sales commissions on all inventory homes from now until December 31st. So
here we go.
Hey, Chris, on the Windridge, is that one of the properties for D.R. Horton?
Yes, sir. That's a D.R. Horton community. Yeah.
I think we're actually friends on Facebook too. I'm actually in DFW. I'm over in McKinney. So
your name sounds really familiar. I have to message you afterwards.
Everybody says that, and I'm like, hopefully it's for good things. Ask George. I get myself in trouble sometimes.
Oh, come on, man. Now we're going to be competing against each other in our own backyards.
Well, so majority of what 95%
there's plenty of fish in the sea.
I'm already searching on somebody's site in Seattle to run up his realtor count. I take the competition.
There you go.
What I do is all land and big
there's a certificate, and there's the email. So you download the certificate. I like it. You got your brand in there. You got all of it. That's perfect. It's good, man. Good job. For anybody that wants it, and maybe Chris, you can post some more info in the insider group on all this.
Sure.
People that want a little bit more, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Anybody else having any experience with some of those custom funnels? So Steve's kind of leading that front up. So he does have his ad tweets class that he's opening up to twice a week now. And Steve, maybe we can try to figure out how to make that open to learning a little bit of how to do the Canva properly too. Or maybe we can design something separately to that, because that's not going to be my forte. Maybe Logan.
I mean, if you guys are interested in learning Canva, it is pretty straightforward. But if you'd like a class on it, just let me know and we can set that up.
There actually is a module in the StreetText Academy course on how to use Canva, on both how to create email signature and also images for your posts.
Awesome.
So if you have access to that, you've got it.
Land of learning here at StreetText. We got it all. Okay, and anybody else on that end? So good stuff between Christopher and Douglas on using that. I mean, you're getting some great results. So I love it. And I like the Facebook lead capture. I think that's a great opportunity to use some of our custom built ads with that. So and now everybody, I want to go experiment with the new seller conversion template, so you don't have to actually put in the name of the area anymore. I want you to experience with that, and then I'm going to drop you that Emojipedia in the chat feature if you're not already using this anyways for your email subject lines. And for, just emojis in general, this is the best thing to use the emojipedia.org. I'm just sending you the one with the house building, but I think that'll be an excellent opportunity to put in there. Just copy it, right, and just place it right into that description instead of the county verbiage now, and go out there and experiment and split test with it.
Marcus, I was just playing with that, trying to not put anything in the city and or neighborhood. And so I maybe missed a step in is it possible to get the steps to do that you just went through?
Yes, and I did a video and it's in the insider group. But if it's not doing it for you, you may have to clear your cache. That would be the key in there, because it's the old, it's been updated since yesterday, right? Just brand new. So if you clear your cache, then it should clear that issue up, and you wouldn't have to put anything in there. But if I would actually say, instead of doing nothing, put in a little emoji, a little home emoji, because that's it's a home emoji. You're saying if someone were to buy your home, would you sell it? Find its value in the current market. So why not put a little home there, and then pull in the address that you want to use as a centralized location, right? That's the map image that you're going to use. Decide if you're going to do map, satellite, or terrain, and perhaps test them all. And then when you actually zoom into that address, I want you to double click on the zoom out. That'll frame it perfectly for a 15-mile radius. And then you're going to take that address, copy it into the drop the pin, and you're going to just put that 15-mile minimum, click done, and launch. And you can, once you have that copied, you can redo that same step 2, 3, 4, 5 more times to get that ace that we're looking for. Because like we talked about, and we keep on pressing home, is if you want a solid ad performance, then you got to be going out there within the first few hundred people reach to figure out which is the high ad performance, which is the ace, and then turn off the other ones. I wouldn't let an ad spend more than $10 without making a determination on whether that ad needs to be turned off or continue. And that $10 mark is for me, is if I haven't captured at least an email within $10, I'm going to turn that ad off. And obviously if we land an ace and we got like a couple, 2 or 3 emails generated within that $10, now we're going to let that continue and we're going to turn all the other ones off. So sometimes you got to let a couple kind of emerge to see which one's going to win. But Facebook is pretty good at telling you early on in an ad's performance if it's going to continue that way. And the opposite end too. If you're not getting any clicks, I don't expect you to get another 10 clicks the next $10 you spend. You guys understand that? It's pretty straightforward. So you're in control of your destiny in terms of ad management. I want to make that clear. And for some of those users that we had in the past that have, relied on ads just to kind of continue, like don't do that. That's why we have lifetime budget and last 7 days budget. So you can see where your ads are moving and trending. And sometimes that means just turning it off. And, you can get it back. You just got to go out there and put aside a good 20, 30 bucks extra to do some heavy testing over a 24 to 48 hour period. That's the recommendation I have. Any questions on that? Pretty straightforward stuff, right? Okay, let's move the discussion to Homebot. Who's got Homebot? Jeff, tell me about it.
Well, it's for me. Well, let me step back. I've used a lot of different marketing platforms. For the listing side, StreetText by far has outperformed everybody, to the point where I've got such a volume coming in. It's been very difficult to manage that. I'm pretty gung-ho. I want to give good market analysis on the homes, and I maybe started off, when I've been a friend of your guys' for about a year now. And when I first started off, I tried to do an extensive CMA on every single lead that came in. Huge mistake. Because I was literally spending hours every single day playing catch up. And so Homebot came in and it really allowed me to present an automated, now we all know that the automated CMAs aren't that fantastic. This one tends to be a little closer where I live, but it's still not, it's not gonna get it right down to the, with $10,000. Unless it's a track home, it's still gonna give a range. But the platform itself is very, very attractive. It's fun and engaging for your prospect. And we've just seen open rates like it's unbelievable, the open rates. Before we were hovering about 14 to 17%, and we thought we were doing really good on open rates. This is like 60, 70%. Now, not everybody's engaging with us on that, but we can tell who's opening it, and that allows us to retarget them in a different marketing platform to see if we can get them to budge. So maybe not the Homebot platform itself that lead starts to engage with us, but we'll geo-target them, or we'll put them into another Facebook campaign or a print campaign, or deliver something to their home, and then that triggers the involvement. So Homebot is just a really good, attractive platform. It's fun for the customer to look at. It's way different than sending them something through a big company out here to use is Cloud CMA, or something that maybe one of the brokerages will have to send out a more formal looking CMA. It's just the open rates for us have just been fantastic.
I love it. I got a couple other people that are using it in here. Kristen, if you're here, you're here? Perfect. Yeah. Tell us about it.
I've been using it about 4 or 5 months prior to signing up with StreetText, simultaneously with my preferred lender. And I put in about 400 contacts that I paid for through another system, and every single one has engaged in it. I've had 3 opt-outs. You can also use it to not only do CMAs, but you can set up buyers who are looking in certain areas. They can type in their zip code, they can see what's available around them, and it even tells them what they could afford in what areas. It's just, it's such a great platform because they can use it. It's very hands-on, very user-friendly. They can adjust things. There's nothing worse than a client using another platform like Zillow or Realtor.com, and then, you lose them. But in this, they seem to stick with it. They like it. I find that the values are pretty close to what I come up with. And then I don't use it right away. I try to get the customers who are already engaging with me on board, and then within a couple of days, I set them up on the Homebot system, and right away I'm getting people responding. This is great, thank you so much. I had no idea what I could do with all the equity in my house, or this is great, I'd like to sell, can you help me? It's been a really good tool for me, and it's just another, as the last gentleman said, it's a great follow-up tool. It's very engaging. I like it, so.
I love it. I wonder how we could create this perfect synergy between that automation and the values and the bomb, like the follow-up, the personalized contact to create, ultimately you're going to give them that, but first let's connect.
Yeah, I have a spreadsheet that I use where I put in each step that I've done with each person, and that's the 3rd step that I go to. And then I take it even further, and I even put them on an MLS search of homes in their area. So every Friday they get an email to see what's active, what's sold, what's pending. So they're getting a whole bunch of stuff from me. They're not only getting the Homebot and the MLS and all of the automations from StreetText. So, the more you engage with these people, they see you're a working realtor and you're working hard and your stuff, you're going to keep them. That's the idea. A lot of them aren't ready to buy right now, as we all know. So you have to stay on top of them. That's the key to capturing them on finding. So use as much as you can, and Homebot's just another great tool.
I love it.
Yeah.
Marcus, you mentioned something, you mentioned about BombBomb.
Yep.
There's a full integration piece with Homebot to use BombBomb in that platform, and that is gangbusters. I mean, it just looks really nice. It's easy to do. It's all within that platform if you've got a BombBomb account. And if you're not using those in conjunction with each other, you're doing yourself a really disservice, because it makes a huge difference.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was gonna comment. I don't know if you can hear me. Marcus, how are you?
I can, thanks. Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Hey, yeah, I've been with Homebot probably a few months longer than I've been with StreetText, and it's one thing that I do like about Homebot is the fact that you set it up one time and you can forget about it. You don't have to keep checking back. You don't have to, once a month I'll go back in there and I'll enter in all my StreetText leads. But I like that you can see them engaging with you. So as soon as they get a digest, they'll look at it, they'll look at the values, and then you can actually see how many times they open it. Like I actually had a client that I think it went out last week, and they've looked at it like 15 times. And so that's somebody that I can immediately say, okay, he's looking at it. Let me call him, because this might be somebody who's looking at selling their property. And that's been the hardest thing for me with StreetText is, I've been an agent for 20 years, and I'm pretty busy in my business. I'm a solo agent, me and my wife, and I don't have the time to chase 50 leads that we get in a 2-week period. It's just hard. And so what I'm going to start doing now, and I started to, is just starting to really implement and be purposeful. As soon as I get a lead, maybe at the end of the day, put all those leads into Homebot, and then just let it go. With Julie working on one end, Homebot on the other, and then following up. I think hopefully that'll work, but I've gotten more traction from Homebot than I have from StreetText, and I think it's obviously because of me, because of my business. But I wish there was a better way where eventually, I think hopefully you're going this way, is everything that we get from StreetText will immediately be inputted into Homebot, CMAs will go out, automation will go out. I mean, that's what I'm looking for, and I think that's what I'm missing in my business.
I think that's the future, absolutely. And you combine that with the personal touch. You know, I think at the end of the day, you got to get your face there. You got to get your body language, your tonality. You got to get, that's what they're drawn to. Of course, the value is what they're there for initially, but the personality and the, being authentic in that continued pursuit of the relationship, when you combine the three of those, that's where I'm going to see it's going to be the perfect synergy for you to get the most amount of clients in the future. And so, yeah, I think that you're onto something there, Sam.
And I think somebody asked me if that's what I'm using for my primary CMA. No, it's not. For the ones that I'm getting to, like if someone puts, they want to sell in 1 to 3 months, then that person, I'm going within the next, 2 hours, as soon as I get the lead, I will send them an RPR report. I'll send them a quick CMA. I'll send them a bomb video. I mean, I'll do it all, but then I don't have time to keep chasing that lead down. I mean, I wish I had the time to have somebody, hey, as soon as a lead came in, let's get a CMA out. Let's hand deliver it to their property. Let's get face to face with them. But the truth is, with our business and how busy I am already, it's hard for me to do that.
So the quick question I have, I looked at it before and I told Marcus this yesterday. When you go into the sign up page, it says you have to have a lender co-sponsor, and Marcus said you can go sellers only and not have to do that. So is there somewhere you go?
I purposely, what I did is I'm just looking for seller leads. I'm not trying to work with buyers at the moment. And I have a lender that actually sent me a $4 million client. We bought a house for $2 million. They're selling at $2 million, and right now that lender doesn't want to do Homebot. He has other things that he's doing. So honestly, I don't want to go bug another lender to co-sponsor it, because I'm happy where it's at. But yes, if you do get a lender to sponsor it, it costs them more money, because then they can offer that to other realtors, other realtor partners that they have. And so they're in front of not only our clients, but they're in front of other agents' clients.
Yeah.
So do you have to have, if you go sellers only though, do you have to have a lender co-sponsor, or you can just go agent only?
No.
You can just do it yourself. You have $25 a month or whatever it is, and it's just, you just can't turn on the buyer side of Homebot.
That's the magic word.
Sam's correct. You don't have to have a lender partner. The benefits of having a lender partner is they're going to be able to go in, change some values and things from, if you're working with someone that's going to buy, the program really opens up if you have a lender, but you don't need to use one. If you're using an IDX feed or your own way of showing homes to the client, and you don't want to use that portion of it, then the lender may not be a good route. Although, Leon, you're from Renton?
Who are we talking to?
Leon Harper?
Leon, he's asking you a question.
Go ahead.
Are you from Renton?
That's where my main office is, but I work the south end, Tacoma, all the way down through Olympia.
Okay. You and I should talk. Then my lender partner on Homebot would be more than happy to loop you in, and so you have full access. And it doesn't cost you anything more, and maybe there's a relationship to be built between you two, and maybe not.
But guys too, also, if you have other lenders, if somebody, like I had a client who saw the equity in their property and they said, you know what, I want to pull some of that equity and buy an investment property, and maybe refinance my property, I'd like a quote. Then I would just, whatever lender I'm working with at that moment, I'm just send that lead to that lender and say, hey, here's a good lead for you. But you don't have to, I wouldn't worry too much about, because it's going to cost the lender more money. So if the lender, it's going to cost them $200, $250 a month, where it costs us $25. So I wouldn't worry about that too much unless your business is chasing buyers and putting them on certain things. But and if you're building your business on buyers, and then I feel bad for you.
Yeah.
But
so you don't need a
everyone
lender
has their own business.
And to talk to Sam's earlier point, Sam was right on about using Homebot as more or less a vetting tool of who you should talk to instead of trying to talk to everybody. Use Homebot as just another tool in your arsenal to, one, it generates a pretty attractive automated CMA. but two, you can see where the client is engaged and how they're engaged, and really vet who you want to talk to and who you want to spend your other marketing dollars to get in front of. It works really well that way, and I think that's what Sam was saying. I think he's got a point there.
Hey, Marcus, if it's okay, I'll share my screen for Homebot so you guys can see what it looks like.
Of course, yeah, share it away.
And so I've been with StreetText about a week now, maybe. And so, but when you first log in, this is kind of what it looks like. The cool thing is this one right here was the first one we got from StreetText, and it shows you everything from all their AVM, the new loans, everything digest when they've opened it, how many times they've opened it. But it's kind of like what Sam was saying is we get so much stuff coming in, it's kind of hard to try to update a CMA every single month. The nice thing is this sends it out every single month for you.
Wow.
And then, so you don't ever have to worry. I'm not saying don't worry about it, but this is just a way to get it in front of them on a monthly basis to keep you up top of mind. But they can go, so this is what you put in, but they can go over here and add their mortgage in. And as long as this information is correct, what happens is it breaks it down for them. Estimated value of the home, it tells them what their net worth is. It tells them what the principal versus interest. It tells them, they can actually slide to show them what the difference is on savings, what they can do with the equity in the property. If they want to buy another home, investment, sell it, pocket, rent. And then they also, where's it at? Bear with me, guys. Sorry, I'm scrolling pretty quickly. There's another section. If they rented their home on Airbnb, how much could they potentially earn?
What?
So yeah, so that's what I'm saying is it's pretty detailed. I don't do cloud CMA. I use RPR reports for physical, tangible, and hand prints.
Can you show them also? Sorry to interrupt. Can you show them also how many times somebody opens it? Can you show hey,
let me go back to the main screen.
That's amazing. This is amazing. And this is what, $25 a month?
Yeah, exactly. Don't tell everybody, okay, please.
So this is the activity feed. This is the past 30 days. So Chris was my very first property evaluation that came in off of StreetText on the trial version. He's opened it 3 times in the last 5 days. 5 days ago, he's opened it 3 times. He viewed it 6 days ago. He opened it. Obviously, I still need to build out a little bit more on this because I haven't been using it, which is my own fault, as in depth as I should. But it literally goes through and tells you when they've opened the emails, how many times they've opened the emails, when they viewed it, etc. So, I mean, it goes all the way back. And then you can go in, where's that right quick? Let me pull Chris back up right quick. And then what it does, nope, I was trying to look for the letter. I can't find it. Anyways, so there's actually a nice email that goes along with it that they can see.
Go to your settings.
What was that?
Settings.
Oh, thank you.
Go to your account. Manage profile and settings.
It's been a while since I've gone in there to mess with this. That's why my brain's like, duh. And then here's the welcome email. Excited to let you know. You guys can read that, obviously. But it goes into detail what it is. So when they get that email, the very first one, it tells them, hey, this is what it is. This is the link to it. So it pretty much does it with you. And then, Jeff, thanks for adding that part about BombBomb. I didn't know BombBomb was integrated into it. So because
that's going to be massive. You throw in a video in there to help explain it and maybe even point back to the relationship you want to have with them in Facebook. I think there's this huge opportunity to get connected on Facebook and bring it back to Messenger as well, so they see you face to face as well.
Hey, Jason, go to integrations right there.
Yeah, that's where it is.
Oh,
guys, I got to get out of here, but thanks. I got a BNI meeting I'm going to, but I'll get the replay on this. But if anyone has any questions about Homebot, they can always reach out to me. So
I feel sorry for the guys in Canada right now. I apologize, but this right here is a game changer. Homebot, BombBomb, and StreetText is your new winning formula.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a cool little system. And we took this and we added it into our website, and we took some of the screenshots to build it out. So if someone wants to go straight in, it's pretty easy. Put their email, hit click, and it's done. So we integrated that. And then I'm integrating that into another piece for some home marketing, obviously the StreetText plus Facebook plus print media. So it's getting pushed out pretty heavily in the next, last 2 weeks and over the next probably 6 months.
Steve, I hope your mind's spinning. We got to make this work for everybody.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see who's using Homebot and BombBomb, if they have an example they'd like to share, because that would be a pretty cool integration to see how that all works together.
And it doesn't look like Homebot has a Zapier integration, but I'm wondering if they have any kind of ability to do email parsing, so you guys aren't having to manually enter leads in. So if anybody who's using Homebot, I mean, obviously we'll do some research on our end as well, but if we can find a way to manually, bridge the gap, so to speak, and send leads automatically into your system, that would be beneficial, I'm sure. So you're not manually doing that. Does anybody have a way of? Yep.
You have to contact Homebot and send them an Excel spreadsheet, and they can upload all your contacts in there.
But then you'd have to do that every time
there's no
that's for
I honestly paid somebody on Fiverr to do it for me, and it was super cheap, like 220 contacts. I paid them like $15, and they did it for me in less than a day. And then I just got all that uploaded. So they uploaded all of it, and now it's just super easy. It sends it automatically for me. I didn't even have to do anything once I gave them the spreadsheet.
So Homebot will do it for bulk if you send them a CSV file. And for the individual clients that come in on a daily basis, your 2s and 3s and 4s, there's, for what I know, there's no way to use Zapier or parse anything. You've got to just do it manually.
I wonder if, and once again, it's just a thought of mine is a lot of those companies that start and gain traction, obviously, it would make sense for them to create a plugin of sorts so that this can be done manually. And it's good information to know that that's not currently available, obviously, because otherwise I'd be spinning my wheels trying to figure out if it's doable. But, once again, if anybody does find ways, getting people to do it using Fiverr, I think that's a great idea. All those different things, these are great ideas. And we're going to start different threads in the insider group. Come in and share your ideas. This is what makes this group so great, is somebody's come up with something that works. Other people are coming up with different ways of making that thing work even better. Sam, before he left, said, don't share this with everybody. And that's kind of what we're doing, is we're sharing with this group of individuals, the people who take the time out of their day to, time block and learn. We have people who are brand new agents. We have people who've been, agents for 30 years, right? That's the beauty of this, is that everybody has something that they can add to everybody else's production. So that's why we meet on Wednesdays. This is great. This is awesome. We love this.
Hey, could I make one more comment on the adding the contacts in the BombBomb? The reason why I think BombBomb has it, Homebot has it set up this way is I went back to my past database, all my past clients, uploaded them individually to see where their home was as far as equity wise, and then sent them out a BombBomb and said, hey, John, this is great news. You have this much equity. If you remember me, because I don't follow up with a lot of past clients sometimes. I said, hey, John, if you remember me 3 years ago, I helped you purchase your home. You have, $200,000 worth of equity. This is great news. Here's a report for you. And I do the integration with the BombBomb. And that way now it engages me to get back to my clients without just massively uploading everyone and sending them out stuff that they don't know what it is, right? And you have to be careful depending on what market you're in. If you live in an area where there's a lot of custom homes and they're all different square footage, the AI, like any AI system, doesn't work as well as if you're sending those reports out to track homes which they're all relatively almost the same, right? So you have to kind of, depending on where you live, where I live, there's a lot of custom homes. There could be a 4,000 square foot home next to a 1,000 square foot home and 10 acres on 1 acre. So you just can't always just send it out. You want to be careful of who you're submitting it to. And then, hey, yeah, this is a real valuation of your home, because you can make those adjustments in Homebot. But I like the fact that I didn't upload everyone at the same time and then just send out a blanket evaluations. I was able to reconnect with all my past clients using the BombBomb feature. And then I got great feedback. I got great open rates, and it just reconnected me without being really awkward of saying, hey, I haven't contacted you in the last 3 years, right? So there's something to be said about just, again, taking your CRM and then uploading into Homebot to where you're able to just reconnect again. So
I love it. I love it. I think that's a massive scaling piece. And then you connect it personally with the video, both on the automated level, by the way, I'm gonna add. I think even with, so some of you are using the drip email campaign with StreetText. Remember, every one of those templates is an opportunity to drop a video in. Every one of those templates is an opportunity to put your Homebot link in, and every opportunity to put a Calendly link in to book in your calendar. I think we get lost sometimes. We got to go out there and customize it a little bit. But yeah, let your automations do what they do, but don't neglect the actual personalized aspect of this. And then reconnecting with them on Facebook, because if you can somehow get them to be connected with you as friends on Facebook, now you have their attention every single day in their newsfeed. And you're more likely to see that person as a relationship, not just a lead. Awesome. This is good stuff, guys. I'm actually really excited about this. Christy, did you want to add something about your experience with Homebot? Like you said, you're sending that out for the initial CMA. Do you want to mute yourself there?
Yeah, the first time I used it, the first person I sent it to emailed me back within a few minutes. And that was the first time I'd had a response like that. And he emailed me back saying he was out of the country, he'd be back on Friday, and wants me to touch base with him over the weekend.
Awesome.
So it's been great. And the open rates are incredible. I don't remember who said it earlier, but I'm getting almost a 90% open rate on what I've sent out.
George, is your head spinning over there? I know you're going to be taking this technology your way.
It's probably something I've been missing out on, and for $25 a month, I was waiting to hear a more expensive price. Sounds like it's bananas value-wise.
It's a no-brainer for you, especially with where you're heading.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, if I could make one more comment on Homebot, it's the reason why you get great open rates is because the program's dynamic. It's not a stagnant report, and so they'll get a new evaluation every month with a chart, so it continues to adjust how the market adjusts. And equity, and it goes, it tells you how much equity, it goes into Airbnb stuff. So it really correlates well with the market. It's because it's dynamic, it gets great open rates. It's not some boring stagnant report that most people receive. And that's however they did that, that's really the key feature. That's what makes it work.
Well, I think that it also just been, once again, not coming from a position of being able to play with it myself, but just coming from the descriptions and being able to see it and stuff like that. I think the one thing that it seems as if it would do as well is a continual open rate, because what we always see is if you have one good email, but then your next email isn't quite hitting that same mark, your third email isn't getting opened. And any subsequent email, you've lost relevancy, because it's, why am I going to spend my time even to check and see what you're sending me? But if I find the first content incredibly engaging, I'm going to open your next email. If I find it equally engaging and it's not the exact same report, right? If it has shifted, it has changed, I can see things, I'm now looking forward to the next one, right? So once again, not coming from a position of playing with it myself, just coming from the idea that it presents, I think that does sound pretty interesting, because once again, it's dynamic and it's attached to something that is, the most important investment of their lives.
Well, yeah,
right?
I mean, who's the thought they didn't know that they could take out equity or perhaps rent it out on Airbnb or put that into an investment property? Like, you get your mind thinking, like spinning on that as a homeowner based on what you can do. And it creates this future outlook in your life that gets you excited as a homeowner. So I think that's a powerful motivational tool.
Hey, Marcus, just an idea. You think you guys could reach out to Homebot at least to get the sign up fee waived? Because there is a sign up fee on there. I mean, I'll quite imagine that almost everybody out here is going to sign up. I mean, I just did. It might be an extra added benefit for you guys.
Marcus and Logan, if I could jump in on that, because I did get you your meeting tomorrow morning with them.
Yep, Steve and I will be on there for sure.
A lot of people, and then I'll throw this up there now, all of those fees are already going to be waived for all of StreetText. So hopefully maybe Marcus and Logan can talk to them tomorrow and leverage something else out.
We'll get that waived for you, Patrick. Don't you worry.
But that setup fee is waived for everybody.
Done. StreetText.
Give you some sort of credit for your lender.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
That's awesome.
So
down there,
canceled.
Yeah. Marcus and Logan, your meeting is set up for tomorrow, but for the rest of StreetText. I think they're going to try to set it up next Tuesday with a follow-up on Encore performance after Thanksgiving. So there'll be two.
Yeah, thanks a lot for all that, Jeff. Honestly, and once again, I can't. I hate to beat a dead horse here, but this is what makes this special. Keep sharing. Let's keep kind of building off this. This is awesome.
Hey George, you sell your Bose headphones yet?
We should just make this the George sells something hour and say whatever you're selling, George, just come promote it. That's what I wanted your drone. My son's
Getting.
My son's
it's all on how you get it priced, George. It's all in the pricing.
I'll give you a Homebot membership for those.
I do have just a couple things. I don't want to go off task, but I know we're at the top of the hour. I want to give 3 updates. Marcus, I shared some with him earlier this week on the lead generation segment for StreetText. So what I've been doing now, and I've been getting open rate, and it looks, I think, reversed on your camera, but it doesn't look reversed on the bombs. I've been sharing with people and giving them urgency, because what I noticed is on the bombs, I get a lot of open rates, but I don't get a lot of video plays. So now what I'm doing is just putting sense of urgency if you're thinking of selling in 7 days to 5 weeks. And then all of a sudden, please click play. It takes 2 minutes. And I make them super short and sweet. And I'll give somebody some pertinent information, and now I'm getting 4, 5, and 6 video plays when I would have a tough time getting 1 or 2. And that's working out for me in the last, I'm going to say 10 days. Now 11 days I've been doing it. And then now I'm getting crafty, and I don't know what they just fell out. Multiple color envelopes. I've been sending out the white ones forever, and studies show that something that's colorful, and that comes from Craig Proctor Camp. Basically, now I have those 2 colors in stock, and an Amazon's delivering red, yellow, usher, purple. So I'm going to have a 5-letter set, and I'm putting all the envelopes and then the example letter, and it's just going to be a conveyor system, and where I have all the printouts set up for the day every morning, and then I'm sending out 10 to 15 per day. So, and then the last thing I want to share is I don't even want to touch this ad. So this ad I've been running for StreetText now, the entire lifetime spend, $9 a day is what, $7.52. So it's been running for a while. My cost per leads keep on going down, and I'm not going to touch that ad because the relevant everything, I'm getting 2 to 5 leads every day. But now my email leads are $5.30, and my cost per lead is down to $2.19. I don't know what everybody's getting. I know everybody's market is different. Everybody's area is different, price points, but I don't want to touch the ad. Like, I'm scared to touch it. I just launched a second ad based on what you trained.
Yeah, leave it on. Leave it on. Don't be scared. Keep that one on as your anchor. But
of course,
beta test now with this new ability to drop in emojis or even leave it blank in general and just shift the images. And because, again, if that first few hundred people reach takes off, it could beat that ad performance you have now.
Yep.
So just something that, thanks for sharing.
You got it.
Hey, Marcus, Logan, on the going back to Homebot one more time, I promise I'll quit after this. You mentioned as far as how to get StreetText leads into that and that Homebot system. Who's the guy who's sharing his screen on the call? Who's sharing his screen? Who's on Homebot sharing their screen?
That was, where are we? Jeffrey, I think.
No, it was Jason and.
Oh, Jason. Yeah. Jason's gone. Is he gone?
Jason's gone.
Is he gone? Does anybody have? I'm on my mobile phone. Does anybody have Homebot on their screen that they can share?
Patrick said he did.
The reason why, if you go to Homebot, there is actually a share component where you can actually share. And I've done this before as well, but I don't. I don't have like what StreetText has as far as figuring out all the algorithms, but you can link a landing page directly from Homebot to Facebook or to Facebook, and you can have 3 different options: what's your home worth, what your home could rent for, can you afford another home, and they're landing pages that you can post right into Facebook. And I'm wondering if, you know, what Logan was saying is, how do you get StreetText leads? If you can actually, if you're going to have a meeting with Homebot, go over that, and you could probably set up a thing to where you can use those landing pages to do something similar to that, because you can also embed a widget, etc., as well, into your website page. But they have share on social, so you can share those landing pages right into Facebook.
I've got that page pulled up on my Homebot if you want to see it.
Yeah, can you show it?
Share away. The anticipation.
I know, sorry. Can you guys see it?
Yep. Now we can. Yep.
Yeah. So go to hold on. Let me just
share on social right there. It's in the middle.
Go to share. Go to share.
Yeah, I'm on that.
Right there. Yeah, go to share on social. Hit share on social, and then go ahead and hit that first link to Facebook.
Oh yeah, you could just definitely copy that link right into our ad actually.
And it should come up, and then it will. Where's your land? There it is, right there. There's a landing page right there, and it will say how.
Small. There we go.
There you go, right there. So that's how that looks. So something like that can work. I don't know how you guys can integrate that, but that's.
But Steve just said we can use these pages in our lead ad custom templates. So after we get the lead, we can direct people to these places.
And that's how you get StreetText leads right into StreetText.
Yeah. You don't
just copy the URL. Absolutely. Copy the URL and put it into the follow-up URL in the lead ad.
Yep. There you guys go.
That's amazing.
That way it completely integrates.
And I think that's the thing, is we're always trying to look at ways of advancing everything that we're doing. So if we can find different ways of integrating different tools into what we're currently offering as well, I mean, we're all for it. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
We tried something similar to that. We didn't have fantastic results because it left out one step, and that's the interaction that we were looking at right from the start. So before we provided, and this is just how we're kind of built, but before we provided that service, we wanted to at least see if they would engage with us through text or email to find out where in the listing funnel they should be at.
Yeah, got to do some experimenting. Should I try to figure out? I think that's key. Just like we hammer home the split test. You gotta split test your follow up too and see what works best for you to get the personal relationship started. This is great, guys. This is one of my favorite masterminds of all time. I almost say that every week, but I'm serious.
Best one ever.
Best one ever. All right, so we're 5 minutes past, so we'll let you guys go, but this will be recorded back into the Insider group, and we'll be keeping you up to date on what's happening with Homebot with the meeting tomorrow to get you guys that link to waive that fee. And then again, it'll be even more exciting as we figure out how to integrate this even better for you guys. Thanks, guys.
Peace.